Hello, everyone. We're here with Alfred Burse, aka otherwise known as AJ. Welcome today, Alfred. How you
Thank you.
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I was really blessed that you asked that I could have you come and join us today. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started?
So me and my mom, we started here at King Community Church around 2001, right before I graduated eighth grade. One of her best friends, Miss Jones, was here at the church, and she invited us one Sunday. So we came. There are two sides of the church. There's an adult side, it's called the main side of the church, and the children's side. Um, I was in eighth grade at the time, almost about to be eighth grade graduate that Sunday. So we came, and when I went to the children's side, coming from Catholic school, we had slacks. We were dressed up, so that's what I wore that Sunday. So I came to the children's side, and it's this. They're stadium style seats. So you look up, it's about maybe 11 or 12 rows, like a stadium, and nobody had dress clothes on. Everybody had either jeans on or they just casual, it was comfortable. And I was like, I didn't get that memo, but I loved it. It was different. Um, it kind of showed me early on that Kings wasn't this one model, and it wasn't a strict place where you can come and worship and learn and love on the Lord and learn about the Lord. And I appreciate it. And we've been here ever since.
Praise the Lord. Now you went into youth group as well, Pastor Brent Tabor.
hmm Yeah, Pastor Brent, he was my first youth pastor when I started back in 2001. Very aggressive style of teaching. Um, I know if my peers were like me, they may have not understood it. But as we grew on, while he was still here during his duration, we understood it was love. Um, Being coming from a law enforcement background, Pastor Brent understood. I understand that he understood the pitfalls and the traps that people my age at 12, 13, 14 could fall in. So even though it was an aggressive style of love, it was necessary because he understand that we needed to know these things early on, and we needed to it needs to be ingrained in us, so that we won't fall into those same pit traps. So he was great. I love him, and I wish him all the best.
Well, going through children's church and then on to youth group, then you headed on to college, and
hmm
that's the test for every young
hmm
person.
hmm
You went to Millikin. Tell us a little bit about your time there.
So Milliken, it was at an interesting time. Milliken is in the middle of Decatur. I mean, middle of Illinois and Decatur, Illinois. Literally, it's the middle of the map for the state of Illinois. It's a soybean capital of the world. My first experience when my mom and my oldest uncle, Uncle Charles, drove me down there. I was asleep in the back seat, and what woke me up was this weird smell. It was like a sweet musty smell, and I woke up and she said we were here. I'm like, what is that? So we didn't know what that was until I got to campus and I learned that it's soybeans. Decatur is the largest producer of soybeans in the world. We had a good time. I majored in political science, with a focus in pre-law, with a minor in history. It's interesting. I started out with a major in history until my third year, and I realized I was taking almost as many political science classes as I was history classes, and plus history is boring. I like it because when it's things that we need to know, so we don't repeat ourselves, especially the bad things. But also learning to repeat the good things and evolving on those. But it was boring. It was boring to me. Me being an 18, 19 year, 20-year-old kid in college, it was boring to me. So I just switched to political science because I learned political science is history just with a lot of more action.
There you go. There you go.
You know,
Now
so
you
yeah.
had spent that time in Milliken, and then you came back home, and in doing so, you came back to church. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things you did is you put yourself right back in as leadership in the youth group. Tell us
Mm-hmm.
about those times with Dare to Share and things.
Yeah, so let me start off by saying I didn't know I was going to be coming back. I really didn't think about it. I just knew I was going to graduate college and whatever the Lord led me to, that was that. But I came back and it was a blessing. It also made me realize that my path is not my path; it's the Lord's path. Um, so I came back and I jumped right back in, and I have all what I call my kids. Uh,
Yeah.
um, I became a youth leader, and we began to teach the lesson on Wednesdays and play basketball and learn and grow with them. Then eventually, I became a coach here through the youth league that we joined, local church league, and that was great. I was able to bond with the young gentlemen and get to really know them and learn them, and I still talk to them, and we still hang out. I still talk to them, and mentor them. To this day. So that it was a blessing.
That's an important thing to do, that you keep those connections. Now, in doing so, you became an entrepreneur. You have a vision of entrepreneurship. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so like I said, I went to school for political science, but around 2009, 2010, I developed this love for just creating graphics, particularly logos. I made my first logo on PowerPoint. But I kept at it, and then I taught myself how to use Adobe Photoshop. And from there, I started to create flyers for individuals. And then I said, I really like to do this, and I can make some money. Let's turn it into a business. So exactly what I did. I've had many iterations of my names over the years. I started roughly around 2015. I started a clothing line. Now it's called Black by Any Means Necessary. I sell pro pride clothing for African American women and men. And I still do graphic design on the side. I do graphics for logos, flyers, business cards, anything for print. And I love it. It's a release. It's not just work for me. It's more than work for me. It's a release. It helps me focus. And I love to be able to create for others. And no matter what, even if I'm not physically there, I can create a flyer. My imprint is there. My legacy is there.
Yeah, technology is something. Now
Yeah.
you are working within the field of your discipline from
Mm-hmm.
college is in politics.
Mm-hmm.
You've run for office at Dalton, and you tell us a little bit about that thing about Dalton and your desire for the city.
So yeah, I currently work for a state senator. I've been his chief of staff now roughly since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I met him as he joined my fraternity back in 2008. He was the state director at the time, and he brought me on as an intern in 2009, the summer of 2009, before I graduated college. He was a lobbyist, so I was an intern in his lobbying firm doing clerical work, preparatory work, and I never saw myself actually working in government. I just knew I liked political science and history. But from there, interning for the senator at the time, it opened my eyes up to the possibilities of how, more so what I can do, but how I can help others.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly be able to bring resources back to where I live, the community where I live. So then I decided to run for office. I was sick and tired of complaining. So I decided to run. Even though I was not successful that time, it was a lesson. It was a great lesson I was able to learn. I met many, many people in the village and just in the general community along my journey. And I am still here. I'm going to continue to serve in every capacity that I can. But it's a blessing. Like I said, I didn't know I was going to come back. And because I did, I was able to do those things and meet new people and continue to grow.
So you're looking forward then to the future, and what do you see your future? I know you don't have these crystal balls or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but what do you see your future as?
I don't have any specific location, but no matter where I'm going to be at, it's going to be in a place of servitude. I haven't quite figured out my life. Even at the age of 33, I don't think majority of 33-year-olds figured out their life. But I always had a heart to serve, no matter what. So no matter what it is, no matter where God leads me to, it's going to be serving, whether it's here or in Springfield or DC or anywhere. I'm going to be serving.
Well, AJ, I appreciate you visiting with us today, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you as a mighty man of God. You have stirred the hearts of many youth, and as we did food drives and all the things that we did and all of our little adventures, I'm so very blessed to know you as a mighty man, and I want to thank you for today. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Alfred Burse, a.k.a. AJ,
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Love you.
Love you
God bless
too.
you too.